I'm going to talk about stock signature and what a stock signature actually is. This is a very, very powerful mechanism. After massive backtesting, I mean massive, thousands of stocks, thousands of charts, hundreds and hundreds of hours, we came up with 20 effective bull filters and 20 effective bear filters. Now by filter, we mean a mechanism to screen certain stocks out from the others. It looks for specific patterns, and that's really what a filter is. And of course, a bull filter means that the pattern indicates that the stock will advance, and a bear filter is an indicator that the stock will decline. Now, with these 20 filters of each side, the system is constantly scanning all the stocks in our system, which is about 2,000 stocks, and it computes a score. This is all done in real time. The score is the key because the score is computed in a very, very unique way, and here's how. I'm going to use one of the bull filters as an example. This is one particular filter that is in the 20 bull filters, and that's called the V-bottom. Now, a V-bottom is when a stock declines like that, and then it reverses and it forms a V, if you will. And more often than not, when that pattern is exhibited, the stock goes on to soar. Now, let's take a look at this stock. I'm marking all the V-bottoms like that. There's 4 of these in this 6-month period. You'll note that when it does hit that V-bottom, it usually goes on to gain for quite a long period of time. Now, if you take a larger picture of the same stock, there are approximately 14 V-bottoms in that chart. Let's call them 14 hits. Now, of those 14, only one of those failed to gain after the V-bottom was seen. Now, so for this particular stock, when the V-bottom occurs, the track record is 13 wins in 14 hits. Now, for our backtesting, we would measure a win as gaining at least 1.5% in the time period tested. And that's 1.5% on a daily chart in a 3-day period. That's just a little trivia, but that's how a win is measured. So it's got 13 wins and 14 hits, hence its score is 92.9%. In other words, the score is a stock's track record when it is found by a filter. Now this is very significant because not all stocks are created equal. Let's take a completely different stock, same exact filter, V-bottom. In this case, we have 15 hits, just about the same number as the other stock. However, this time we have 6 losing occurrences. So in other words, out of 15, there were 6 times that V-bottom hit that the stock did not gain. So for this stock, when the V-bottom filter hits, the track record is only 9 wins and 15 hits. Thus, the score is 60%. You see, and again, the score is the stock's track record when it is found by a filter. This is very, very powerful because each stock is different. So for V-bottoms, in this case, in the example, stock 1 it has a 93 rating, stock 2 has a 60 rating. Well, that sure helps the trading because you know which one is a better bet, you see. And hence, I would say that stock 1's signature is V-bottom. And that's how we come up with a signature. Each stock has a unique signature, and I'm telling you right now, you cannot get any more accurate and powerful than this. So here's the window that you get when you double-click signature stocks. The most significant box in this window is probably the signature box. So when you click on a stock, you get this report, if you will, of that stock's signature. So in this case, the top signature is what we call the Williams curve. What that means is, stated simply, it means the stock has been oversold And then the Williams indicator, which is a line across the chart, curves upwards like a V-bottom, which means that oversold condition is reversing. What it says here is that when this stock has a Williams curve phenomenon, it goes on to gain 87.5% of the time. That is pretty good odds. Now, each stock has the top 4 signatures for that particular stock when you click on it, and you can see what they are. Now, in the left column, it shows you in real time which of signatures have tripped, like recently. In this case, you can see the top 4 stocks here have tripped the number 1 signature. You can tell because it has a little number 1 next to it. If it's colored background, like you see the top 4 there is colored blue background, that means that there's a signature, and that's number 1. And the green one means it's number 2, and so on. Not every stock will have a color like that, which means that no signature item has tripped for that stock, at least not right now. Now, the possible column, what that means is that's the highest possible score that stock could ever have based on signature hits. The more significant column is the rating itself. That is the rating based on current signature hits. If nothing is hit, that rating will be a 0. In this case, the number 1 signature has tripped for that stock on the top stock there, and thus the rating is 87.5. Now, does it really work? Well, of course it works, and I'm going to show you how I know that. I've been personally using signature to choose trades for the last 2 months. Actually, I've been doing it way longer than that, but I've been tracking it. And not only have I been tracking it, these have been demonstrated live inside of the GARS Gold Room. And what you see here is 2 months worth of stock picks based on signature that I would personally choose. And if you go down to the bottom of the ledger, in 2 months, there is a gain of 22.2%. Now, I don't know where you're coming from, but that gain is spectacular for a 2-month period. I think the market itself is flat. Maybe it's up maybe 1%. And there are fund managers that would be screaming and bragging their heads off to get that in a year or 2. So this stuff really does work.